From me to you, sports talk. What you expect? It ain't about who said it first. It's about who got it right. Hello, everybody out there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this sports podcast. And for the ones who download the podcast and who have found the podcast, I want to, let you know how much I appreciate you all, because I've been on this grind for a while and everything I've learned has all been self-taught. I know it kind of sounds like my nose just stopped up and everything. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sick, but I was like, you know what? I need to put some content out there this week, because even if one person only download the podcast, that's still one more person than I had last week or something like that. You know what? They might look forward to listening to me talk and stuff like that. So I want to tell y'all that I do appreciate you all for tuning into my podcast and everything. Like I said, if you want to see any more videos, just check out my Instagram. It's official J Davis and the number 2. That's at official J Davis, the number 2. Now, let's get into some sports, guys. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is this whole LeBron James situation. Everyone's wondering. Supposedly, LeBron James just bought a house in LA, right? Okay. Who wouldn't want to go to LA? Beautiful weather. Pretty expensive, though. And the reason why I'm sick, actually, is because I just came from the West Coast. I live in Florida. Always beautiful. Always sunny here. I decided to go to Seattle so I can go see one of my boys. Well, I'm pretty sure you all know what happens when you leave a hot climate and go to a cool climate, or you go to a cold climate and come to warm weather. It doesn't always pan out too good for you. And as y'all can tell, I am sick now. I regret it. I regret going. But Seattle was definitely a beautiful city. So was Portland. So anyways, let me get back on topic about the whole LeBron James possibly leaving the Cavs and going to LA. I say the only reason, if I was LeBron James, I don't think this Cavaliers team is better than the currently constructed. I don't think this Lakers team that's put together right now is better than this Cavaliers team. Now, the Cavaliers team is a little older. This Laker team has younger pieces. So they have pieces to the puzzle that they can put together and build something really special around LeBron James. Now, if they can somehow get Paul George as well, I say do it. They have Kuzma. They have Lonzo Ball. But Lonzo Ball and LeBron James on the same court at the same time, it's like they're gonna pass it to each other. We know that LeBron James is an excellent facilitator, and LeBron has to have the ball in his hands. Although LeBron he'll cut, he'll slash. His 3-point shot is actually looking nice this year as well. But LeBron is a guy who you want the ball in his hands. With Lonzo, I'm not so sure if you want him playing off ball too much. I think you want him passing the ball as well. So I don't think that LeBron is just all set in on this whole LA thing. And that's the same thing with the 76ers. I've heard rumors about that as well. LeBron is going to go to the 76ers, but yeah, him and Ben Simmons play like the same position. Ben Simmons doesn't do the exact same thing as LeBron, but that's his role. Can't really shoot that good. He can get in the paint and score on you, and Ben Simmons is special. And he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year. I called that in the beginning of the year. I know a lot of people don't like it because he gets to sit out. He last year, remember, he was hurt, so Ben Simmons got to sit out. So Ben Simmons got to soak up all that knowledge, got to get better, probably got to practice against some, elite NBA talent. So that's an advantage that some people see. Same thing with when Blake Griffin. Remember Blake Griffin Blake Griffin had an injury as well. And Blake Griffin basically set out that whole first year. Then he came back. So, that's why a lot of people are like, Ben Simmons isn't really a rookie or anything like that. But, hey, Ben Simmons is doing his thing. He is. But this whole LeBron James situation, I've always said, if LeBron James loses 2 times in a place, he's gone. 2 times in a row. I think at this point in LeBron James' career, it's simple. If I'm not winning, I'm leaving. I think LeBron is willing to do not anything, meaning like he'll do something crazy, but if his team isn't currently constructed for him to win, or if he sees best fit in another situation, I think LeBron will leave and go to that team. LeBron is going to get those rings. Some way, somehow, LeBron is going to get those rings. Now, is he going to win this year? I don't think he's going to win this year. I don't think the Cavs will win this year. I still pick Golden State, although the Rockets are looking like a contender. I'm not too sold on the Rockets as of yet. I want to see the Rockets in the playoffs. I know they have the best record in the West, probably in the NBA. I think the Rockets got the best record in the NBA. But I'm not too sold on the Rockets just yet. I'll tell you this, Mike D'Antoni has really impressed me. I didn't expect for this. I didn't expect for him to implement Chris Paul and James Harden on the same floor at the same time and make them just flow so smoothly. Like, this transition hasn't been the toughest transition, it looks like. We know James Harden has to have the ball in his hand, and he is one of the best shot creators probably, in the history of basketball. This is a guy who will drive through the paint when it's like two dudes right there, and he'll Euro him. It's like, it's coming, but he's so strong and he's so smooth. He gets his shot off night in and night out. So this whole Rocket thing, I think we need to sit back. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not rush and say, they're going to dethrone Golden State. Let's wait and see to the playoffs. Because last year playoffs, I don't know if James Harden was sick or whatnot, but that outing against the Spurs didn't look too good. And we also got to think about this. The way the Rockets was set up last year, we know it was James Harden or bust. So it's like, either James Harden creates or nobody really creates. Well, they had Lou Williams. Now they got Lou Williams. Eric Gordon. He didn't have the best series. So they have some pieces. But I think when it comes down to it, like defensively, winning in a 7-game series, I still take Golden State. Now, I'm about to throw something in there, guys. The best probably one game. Okay, if the series was just one game. I'll tell you this right now. I would probably take the Thunder over a lot of teams. I'm going to tell you right now, because the Thunder has the pieces. We know that, and I was just watching the Thunder game against, who did the Thunder just play? The Pacers. The Thunder played the Pacers, and I'm going to tell y'all this right here. This offense, although it's Melo ISO, Westbrook ISO, if this team can get it going and run an offense that can cater to all three of their superstars, even Steven Adams, if Billy Donovan can somehow implement an offense, then I think you have something special there with OKC. But like I said, that's a one game. Do I expect OKC to beat Golden State 4 games? No. And there's a lot of people who's like, OKC beat Golden State. They're not going to beat Golden State in a 7-game series. No, they're not. Westbrook is not going to do that 4 games in a row. Can he? Yeah, Westbrook is gifted. But you're going to have that defender paying a little bit more attention to him now. So one thing I try not to do is I try not to blow up regular season wins, right? Like we don't want to put these teams on a pedestal, and then we see them in the playoffs and we're like, well, what happened? And that's what seems to happen at times a lot. A lot of us are quick to jump to conclude, these players are really good and they're gonna do this and that. No, they're not gonna do this and that. We know that the playoffs is a half court game. In the playoffs, what must you do? I'll tell you. You must be able to score in the half court. You must be able to play defense. The defensive aspect, I think OKC can do that. Half court offense is a total different thing. That's something we see a lot of teams struggle with. Probably the best half court offensive team is probably Golden State. Or the Spurs, team like that. So, and then another thing, I'm glad Kawhi Leonard came back. I'm glad Kawhi's back. We seen him go out last year in the playoffs, and a lot of people think the Spurs would have probably beat Golden State. Do I? No. Now, another player I want to talk about is Joel Embiid. This guy, I'll tell you right now, at Kansas, I didn't see this at all. I did not see Joel Embiid do this at Kansas. And that's why when some players sit back, some fans of the game, we sit back and we judge players. And a lot of times we are wrong, but sometimes we are right, and that's okay. Like me, I was wrong. I said that Alabama would be Auburn. I was wrong about that. It didn't happen. Auburn has a legit front seven, and they have a pretty good secondary. So they had a game plan, they beat them. But this Embiid guy, I didn't see the progression like this. This guy is Euro stepping at 7 feet tall. He's dribbling. He's shooting threes. It's like these guys are so skilled. Our big men. Now I know Hakeem Olajuwon played back then, and he could do a lot of the same stuff the Embiid could do. But now when you look at today's NBA, you see it's like majority of the centers are now taking their game outside the outside the paint. And this isn't just happening. This didn't just happen this year. It started to develop over a span of time. I remember when Dirk came in, and just from reading things, people was like, "What are you doing? You're 7 feet tall. Get in there! Like, you're supposed to be in the paint." Dirk like, "No, this is what I do." Remember, we know Kevin Garnett always was famous for that little jump shot right inside the arc. I used to be like, "Why don't you just step back and just shoot a three?" Like Kevin Garnett was infamous for knocking that down. Rasheed, Antonio McDyess, like these guys, had game, but this Embiid guy, man, he's mighty impressive. I'm gonna tell you right now, this Embiid guy is mighty impressive, man. I seen him take it to Karl Anthony Towns, who's another dominant young big guy. So I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, that position is dead," and this and that. Nah, that position ain't dead. That position looks good. And another person who I must give praise to, who I wasn't too fond of, Victor Oladipo. I think in the playoffs last year, he didn't look good at all. He did not look good at all. And I was like, "Man, what's going on with you, Victor? Like, you didn't play good at all." Well, I came to realize that Victor Oladipo is somebody who needs the ball in his hands just as much as Russell Westbrook needs the ball in his hands. Now, Victor Oladipo is a better shooter, but last year I didn't see that, and I realized something. Not saying that this is what happened to Victor Oladipo, but sometimes when you play with another superstar or another star, sometimes that can dim your light. Some players who we give all these accolades to, or no, not even accolades. I'm sorry. Some players who we give all these, who we just shower with praise and say, "Oh, this player is this and that," before they do anything, and we judge them off of what they did in college. Sometimes they actually meet someone who's better than them. They're like, "Whoa." Some of our favorite players' confidence goes down when they're in the spotlight. Some of our favorite players' confidence goes down when you're like, "Okay, I want you to take the game-winning shot. I want you to do this. I want you to do that." And not saying that's what happened with Victor Oladipo, but I'm wondering, I sit back, I say, "Well, where was this at? You had times to score. You had the ball in your hands a couple times, and you wasn't the sidekick that everybody thought you would be to Russell Westbrook." Now, is that saying something about Russell Westbrook? Possibly. I don't know. I've said this, and I believe this. I don't think Russell Westbrook will win with other players, other star players. I know that sounds crazy, right? Oh, Russell Westbrook won't win with other star players. Well, what do you mean about that? Said this 10,000 times. It's Russell Westbrook or it's nobody. That plain and simple. I get the assist or nobody gets it. I score or nobody else scores. So this will tell you a lot about this whole Paul George situation with him leaving and Melo and all that stuff like that. This will tell you a lot about if players really like playing with Russell Westbrook, if any of those two re-signed. Not get traded, but if Carmelo says, I'm going to stay and play with him, that'll let you know how much players like playing with Russell Westbrook. That plain and simple. But like I was saying, I got to give it up to Victor Oladipo because I was one of them guys criticizing last year. I'm like, come on, Oladipo, man, what are you doing, dude? Westbrook needed you big time, and You wasn't there to, help him. You didn't look the best last year. But I'm gonna switch the focus and talk about a little football now. In case some of you don't know, well, many of you probably don't know, I am a Patriots fan. I still root for my home team, Cincinnati Bengals, and I always want them to do well, of course. But, I started following the Patriots when Corey Dillon went over there in 2001. Just so happened that was the year that they won a Super Bowl. Corey Dillon is one of my favorite players of all time. Growing up in Cincinnati, I'm so used to seeing my team lose. It's like I've become numb to it. And I'm telling you, Cincinnati is probably the only place where a rival team will probably show up with half of the stadium. Okay, when the Bengals play the Steelers in Cincinnati, I'm telling y'all, next time I want y'all to pay attention and I want y'all to look in the crowd. You'll see 50-50. It'll be half Bengal fans, it'll be half Steeler fans, or maybe 60-40. I've never seen so many Steeler fans living in another place. But I know why they are Steeler fans. That's because the Steelers done beat up the Bengals forever. That's why there's so many Steeler fans living in my hometown. Yep, that's exactly why. So, but anyways, back to the Patriots now. The Patriots lost to the Dolphins. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody know that. It's by the time you hear this, it'll be Friday. Or, no, Thursday. I'm sorry. Patriots lost to the Dolphins. Huh. How should one take that? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. The Dolphins have a pretty solid defense. Just because they have been underachieving don't mean that these teams aren't good. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong at. The Dolphins did it, so the Steelers going to do it. No, you're wrong. That's where you're wrong at. The Dolphins have a front four. The Dolphins also have a pretty solid secondary, which is both better than the Steelers. The Dolphins can play man-to-man defense. The Steelers play zone defense. The Chiefs can play man-to-man defense. The Ravens can play man-to-man defense. These are recipes to beat Tom Brady. We know this already. Why do people keep acting like, sometimes it's hard to change who you are. The Steelers, your secondary just isn't that. I'm sorry. And I have a lot of friends who are Steeler fans. I'm sorry. And they like to throw these numbers at me. Oh, look at our defense. We had the best defense. But you're going against Tom Brady. This is a guy who has picked you apart year in and year out. He knows your system. Even when y'all had Dick LeBeau, that still wasn't enough. And that's one of the greatest defensive coordinators ever. It's about your makeup. You have to have D-line that can get after him. I done said this about on like 4 other podcasts. The Giants showed you. You don't need the best quarterback to beat a Patriots team. You just need that quarterback to not turn the ball over. And that's what Jay Cutler didn't do. I'm like, they got Jay Cutler looking good out here. Although I think the Dolphins simplified the offense. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna say simplify the offense. They didn't run complex routes. They literally did crossing routes all game. And they was tearing the Patriots alive. Like, I think Jay Cutler just played a really good game. He didn't turn the ball over. Playoff time is something different. We'll see that same Jay Cutler in the playoffs. And I don't know if Jay Cutler will put out that same performance. But, it happened. Patriots came out and they looked flat. I realized that from the get-go. I was like, y'all don't look, like the New England Patriots with the 10-3, right? 3 losses. That's nothing. 10-3 is nothing. Okay, so and then we got to think about this. The Patriots still have a chance to lock up home field advantage, which I think if they do beat the Steelers and then they go on and win the week after that, then they will lock up home field advantage. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't think this Steeler game is going to be as close as everybody thinks. It's going to at least be a 10-point win for the Patriots. Tom Brady will do what he wants to do on that defense. Now, Malcolm Butler, you play. See, Malcolm Butler has made some big plays, especially in the Super Bowl. Picking that ball off now, right? So, this is the thing. This is contract year, and I think the Patriots let Garoppolo go so that they could free up some cap room and that they could get that money to Malcolm Butler. Now, is he going to get what he's asking for? I think they're going to ask Malcolm Butler to do the same thing. Like, I think he has to have the same performance that he had, like, in the Super Bowls and in last year playoffs. I love Malcolm Butler. He's feisty. He's tough. But the Dolphins made him look bad. The Falcons made him look bad. So it was like, and we can't even use that as a measuring stick because that wouldn't be fair. That would just like take away everything that Malcolm Butler has done. But this is a business at the end of the day. You got to have that consistency week in and week out. And Malcolm Butler's going to be on Antonio Brown. We're going to see how he fares. Antonio Brown usually gets the best of him, but Malcolm Butler is always there in the right place in the right time. Antonio Brown just makes spectacular catches, so you can't even be mad at him for that. Which I'm not mad at him at all for that at all. So, but we'll see. Gronk being out, that was big too. So Gronk comes back. Who's gonna guard Gronk? And that's the thing. So Patriots took a risk on Kenny Britt. Why not? Same thing they did with Floyd. Hey, we'll see if we can use you. If not, boom, you're going after the season. Big receiver. Why not? So I think we're going to be in for an exciting game. But like I said, this is no biasness is coming from me at all. I think the Patriots will win this game. Big Ben, great quarterback. Antonio Brown, great. Le'Veon, great. No, it was unfortunate that Le'Veon got hurt last year, like in the first quarter. I'm pretty sure Le'Veon is definitely looking for some revenge because that was costly. That was costly. So, like I always say, hey, you're going to have to double team Antonio Brown and make Le'Veon beat you. But I'd rather for that happen than for Antonio Brown to go for a 60-yard bomb, 70-yard bombs. But, the Steelers are loaded, guys. The Steelers have, offensively, they're loaded. But I'll tell you this, guys and gals out there listening, I'm not just talking to guys, so I don't want nobody getting offended, all right? That's just my lingo. Big Ben will give you at least one pick. I'm telling you. Pay attention. Big Ben gonna give you at least one interception. So that's enough about the whole, Tom Brady whole fiasco and the whole Steelers Patriots. But, tune in Sunday, definitely. Great game. And it's unfortunate because I'm going to be at a wedding, and I'm so mad that the wedding is at 4:25 Eastern time. I mean, it's not the game's at 4:25, and the wedding's going to be that Sunday. Honestly, y'all, I love sports so much. I'm like thinking of a way. How can I watch this game at the wedding? I know y'all know people like that who do anything. Like, I love sports. Like, I go on vacation, I make sure, wait, if it's a fight, a big game, hold on. Let's stop. I remember I was on a cruise, and I said, you know what? Hold on. Do y'all got this game on here? I remember my first cruise I went on, it was the Alabama versus LSU game, right? This is when Alabama won, I want to say 9-6. Or no, did Alabama lose that game? It was the year Alabama won the championship. No, Alabama lost 9-6. I'm sorry. Alabama lost 9-6. I sat on that cruise. I watched that game. I don't care where I'm at. When it's a big game on, I'm watching it. I just watched the Lomachenko fight Saturday when I was in Portland on vacation. I said, hold on. So that's just me, but I want everybody to pray for me because I hope I can watch this game. I'm going to be so upset if I can't watch this game. It's going to really ruin my mood. Now, I don't want to be a selfish person, but I love sports. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I let you all go is the whole RG3 situation, right? So, RG3 being a backup, can he still be in there? RG3 looked bad with the Brown. He looked bad. We know RG3's rookie year. If he'd have stayed in the game, they probably would have went to the NFC Championship or actually went to the Super Bowl. I should say that because They look good against the Seahawks. That same Legion of Boom, the wind up winning. RG3 was torching them guys. RG3 hasn't been the same since that injury to his first year. Now, I know there's a lot of rumors out there. We don't know what's true and what's not. But I'll tell you this right now. RG3 could be a backup quarterback for some teams. But if this guy has that personality that Mike Shanahan already came out and basically blasting him publicly, oh yeah, you already know burnt your bridges. It's over. We know Mike Shanahan has been around he's been around the game for far too long. So I think the NFL owners will definitely take his word over anything RG3 says, especially when you're not putting up. I mean, let's be real. We know that, especially, you're labeled with the whole, I guess, black quarterback thing. You know how sometimes people look at black quarterbacks like, oh, they can just run. They're fast. Probably got a big arm and not that much accuracy. Sounds like McNabb and a couple other Warren Moon, But a guy like RG3, you got to think about, like, I want everybody to look at things from a business owner standpoint, and we have to stop thinking like fans all the time. You have to take a step back and really think like, wait. So if I was the owner and I bring on RG3, I heard these things about doing this, and about, locker room and all this stuff like that. Do I want that player on my team? And I think RG3 can still go out there and perform. Like the same thing with Kaepernick, but we must think at it from a business standpoint. Everything is a business. Sports is a multi-billion-dollar business. We know that. These owners don't care about you. Oh, like they don't really care about your emotions and how you connected with a player. As we know, the loyalty in sports, there is no loyalty in sports. Danny Ainge showed us. I'm sorry, I said that was going to be the last thing, but I got to talk about this. Danny Ainge. You all had Isaiah Thomas out there playing. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't force him to play, but Isaiah Thomas just lost his sister. This man goes out there and pours his heart out, and you trade him. Wow. Y'all knew what he was going through, but hey, it's a business at the end of the day. If you're going to give me Kyrie, and all I got to do is give you IT and, I'll give you a pick. Oh, here, you can take him. I'm taking Kyrie. So it's a business at the end of the day. And that's the same thing with the whole kneeling. And this is coming from a black man. Those owners, like, this is a private organization. You messing up my business, Kaepernick. You can't be kneeling. You know how much money I'm losing? So it is what it is. Sports, business, politics. Hey, it is all intertwined, guys. It's all intertwined. Now, I'm gonna go take some medicine, guys. I hope that I feel better and I can get over this whole cold and everything. But continue to watch sports. Continue to support the podcast, please, any way you can. Like I said, it's also on YouTube, so you can even go watch some of my videos that I've done. I usually put up videos of the podcast, stuff like that. But since my co-host is out of town, I haven't had no one to actually put a video up with. So that's that. But like I said, continue to support the podcast. And just always remember, there's no loyalty in sports. I'm actually named that title. This is gonna be the title of this podcast. There's no loyalty in sports. There isn't. So, like I always say, it's not about said it first. It's about got it right. Have a good day, y'all.